This is a message to all of my fellow mushroom people, the Myco community, and anybody in the health and wellness space. Had a meeting yesterday with a friend, customer, and somebody who is going to be helping me with advertising for my business. She works for a company that advertises in various media platforms, so Google, Facebook, Meta, Instagram, all that, and even radio and movie theaters, various things like that. And I had shared with her that whenever I first started working with mushrooms and advertising, I was basically using Instagram, and the turnover rates were amazing for my ads. Generate if I'd spend $100 in ads, I'd get probably $1,000 in revenue, which is really good. And then for a while I floated, didn't need ads, and lately I've been wanting to scale up because I have the facility and the time now. So I started putting out ads, and I noticed that nothing was happening, and I was just kind of wasting money. So I stopped, trusted my intuition, and I stopped. I was getting followers, but I wasn't getting sales, and before it was definitely a lot of sales. So, and I've noticed too that whenever I make a really good post or something, it's not getting as much reach. And recently I had this Amanita group that I admin, got removed, and for some reason I got personal restrictions on my account because I admin it. And another guy, William Blevins, same thing. He's a mushroom identifier, and mushroom group got suspended or got marks against it, and he was starting to get marks against his personal page. And I shared all this with my friend who's helping me with advertising, and she said, yeah, basically whenever Trump got into office, Meta had a big meeting, and they decided that they needed to crack down on health and wellness stuff, which to me seemed kind of antithetical because of the whole RFK Jr. Wanting to ban red dye 40 and fluoride, and promoting MDMA treatment for veterans, and seemed like this new administration was going to be more pro psychedelic, and maybe they are. I don't really know why Meta's taking this approach, because they're also removing the fact checker thing. So I don't really know what's going on, but what I do know is that there are this has been a thing that's been happening, mushroom people, health and wellness, health claims, all those things, super big gray area for the mainstream media, mainstream social media platforms. So I am moving our with the team of admins that I work with. We already have a Discord server, and so we're moving in that direction. I'm creating an Amanita masterclass on Patreon, moving in that direction. And these platforms, they aren't great either. I mean, they're definitely still motivated by money and private interests, but they're definitely a step in the right direction, I think. But just want people who feel like they're hitting their head against a wall trying to promote their business on Instagram, Facebook, and they're in the health and wellness space, or mushrooms, or even psychedelics. Your content is being scanned. Your messages are being scanned. What you view is being scanned. They are profiling you to such a degree, and they're using that information to figure out if you are a liability. And let me tell you, you are. So you may want to consider removing yourself, or at least not putting so much energy into these centralized platforms, because the more we put energy and time and our focus into these centralized platforms, the more powerful and centralized they become. I think really the future is going to be a bunch of small little networks, decentralized, maybe even on private servers. I mean, I know that a lot of people are going that route because you can have total autonomy with a private server, with a VPN in a different country or something like that. I mean, you can literally do whatever the fuck you want. The internet doesn't have to be this walled garden, So that's all I gotta say. Definitely seems like things are shifting in not the right direction, but I actually think it is the right direction, because ultimately we do need more freedom. We do need more sovereignty on our internet spaces, and putting more time into Meta and Google and YouTube and all these big Goliaths of the internet, it's just making them more powerful. So what I'm going to keep doing is I will stay on these platforms as long as I am not banned, and I will use them to funnel patrons, clients, customers, community into different off-site things like email lists, Discord, Patreon. If I make some crazy like dark web server or something like that, I'll definitely be posting that. And that's the same thing I do with Etsy. Etsy is become such a horrible place to sell. I mean, their profit margins are so outrageous. They take 10 to 16% of your profits. They drop you down an algorithm if you don't offer free shipping over an order of $35. What else do they do? They have this star seller rating, so it's if you don't ship on time, if you don't send a message within 24 hours, no matter what day it is, you get these scores on your account, and they'll just drop you in the algorithm, and eventually they'll suspend your account. So, I think it's easy to just kind of cave in and be like, well, that's where everybody's at. And yeah, it's true. That is where everybody's at, but it doesn't have to be. So yeah, let's just take back our sovereignty and start to work towards more decentralization, and remind them that they're only as powerful as we let them be. So take back your power.